Welcome to the pregame. We are a little bit late, but that's okay. You love us anyway. We've been having quite a few technical difficulties, but this is the pregame with Kurt Jangle, the highest rated weekly talk show on Twitch among 5 people in the super secret Sickle Club community. Back again to do what I do every week to help you get ready for the weekend and decompress from the week you just had. So we'll start, as I always do, with a drink. We've got Paul Cider Brewing once again, Voltage Shift. Nice local, where's the camera at? Nice local IPA, thank you very much. And joining me today, I've got...
Hi everyone, I'm Jeef Beasley.
Hi, I'm Veritas Polkra.
And if you're in the chat and you want to jump in and let us know how things sound, because I, once again, forgot my microphone.
Oh.
And I forgot to ask, what are y'all sipping on? I already introduced my drink. So.
Hey, yeah. So I am actually sipping on some Green Label from good old Johnny Walker. Found it at the store today. Last bottle.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
So
Good
nice
find,
little
good
birthday
find.
gift to me.
Late
Happy
gift.
birthday.
Better late than never, man.
Whole month of gifts.
Yeah.
Seems
You
good.
know, it's kind of like a period. Better late than
Set
never.
up here.
I'm drinking soju. Yakult and soju, which you guys haven't ever had. Yakult. Well, this isn't necessarily Yakult.
Yeah. Tell us about this.
Yeah, what do we
What
got
are these
there?
things for us? What are they?
So you can put on the camera if you want to.
Yeah.
It's a wait, hang on. Ooh, it's bright. Your camera would be way better, yeah.
Got it. Yeah.
But it's like a little shot of probiotic drink. It's like yogurt in a cup. Basically, it's liquefied yogurt in a little tiny shot glass.
That's the selling point. That's I don't know.
It's delicious, and it goes with everything. And you can drink it with soju.
It's in a cute little bottle.
It's so cute.
Anybody would love this. Everyone would love it. Very good. Fits in the hand. Don't need two. Need one hand.
But I always want to drink more than the 1 to 2 you should be drinking.
Yeah.
I actually don't know the second size. It should be 1 or 2.
There's like a limit on. I don't know.
I don't know.
You're gonna try yours? You wait until later.
I haven't touched it yet. I thought we were going to do that all together.
Yeah, we can do it.
Oh no, mine has already been poured in with my soju.
Oh, you're already drinking.
Yeah, no, I'm not pouring this in with my drink.
Yeah, no, don't do that.
That's
Just
not
you
happening.
just take it as is.
We just do it like a little
Just drink the whole thing.
shooter.
Yeah, it wouldn't be the first time we've done a shooter, right, buddy?
Probably not. Definitely not. I don't know why I said probably.
It's definitely.
It is absolutely not the first time.
Don't lie to the people.
Yeah. Okay. Well.
Here's to you, here's to me, and here's to the rain that is falling outside.
Yeah.
Good. We need it.
Like it's spicy.
Oh, stop.
That's tasty.
That was really tasty.
I
Kind of tart there,
I don't really
but I like how it's not
I
heavy.
also got
Good.
beer in my tongue. So
Yeah, that's gonna
Yeah,
combine a little bit.
Might
Just
do.
little creamy lights.
But yeah, it's good for you.
All right.
Yeah,
Well, thank you.
You're welcome.
I see we got some snacks
We
here.
got
as well.
snacks. We finally actually settled in with the theme of the whole show, which is, having snacks and drinks and getting ready for the weekend, like I said. I got some all-dressed chips. I got some pretzels. I got a bottle of hot sauce I'm going to tap into later.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, thank you very much for that.
You're welcome.
Hot ones Whirlpool.
Yeah, it's the Los Calientes Rojo.
That's going to be good.
Rojo
It's a
means
good
red.
roasted little flavor for you. Middle of the road spicy.
Yeah.
Good for tacos. Good for barbacoas. Good for whatever you need.
Oh, yeah. No, this is probably going on breakfast tacos.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
I'll be making sure to make all of those for tomorrow.
Okay.
Well, minus the taco part, because definitely don't have tortillas.
No.
Can always go get some.
I was gonna say we need to get some. We're actually pre-gaming for a party this weekend.
Yeah, this is a real
It's a real pre-game for once.
Yeah.
Instead of just like, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna play video games.
Yeah, we
I
got.
am gonna play video games.
We've
I mean,
got.
we're gonna do that too.
We're gonna do video games, pen and paper. We even got this game right here. Yeah, like it's the actual King's Cup board game
So good. that
with
two
hit
countries.
favorites. With hit favorites like
Oh no. First one you
like
played was wrong.
Medusa Look at that one. We all look down, and when I count from 3, you look up and stare directly at another player. If you're making eye contact with them, you drink. Look at that. Yeah, fancy.
That's fancy.
It is fancy because you didn't have all the cards like.
No, you had a deck of cards.
You had a deck of cards,
and everyone fought over what rules were.
Yeah,
so it was
there
like
was
Jack
house
through
rules, and it was
Queen,
like, well, we
or
used to
10
do
through
this.
Queen.
And then, like, this guy said we would do this rule, this guy. And it's always kind of a mess trying to figure out.
Never
Like,
had the pleasure of playing.
Ace
it.
was always either not question matter, but waterfall or make a rule in some cases.
I was a mess if I pulled the waterfall card.
Oh God, me
Because I would
too.
start doing this, especially when we would do Keystone Light. There's a Keystone Light. And me and my buddy would sit on that.
That takes me back.
Yeah. I pulled a waterfall card. I'd have
Nice.
half a beer left. I was just like, okay, waterfall. And I started waiting for somebody to bring me another beer, and I would just switch out mid-stream.
Do a nice little NASCAR change out there.
Yeah, basically get a little pit stop real quick.
And every time you got to go to the track and figure out that stuff.
Yeah. I couldn't stay awake at the track. But yeah, every time I did pit stop new with the waterfall, somebody I'd see like 3 people drive. Like, I'm not doing it. Get out of the game, man. You came here to party.
Yeah.
Sorry.
There you go. Speaking of parties, sounds like quite a story.
My face is gonna get red.
Me, like freshly 21 and in a band in the early 2000s was like a recipe for
Disaster? Success?
if there's a way to just combine those words.
Dissess.
Abscess. No, that's
Popping one.
there was some. I don't know how to. Yeah, it was.
Oh, so smooth.
What was that again?
Green label.
The green label?
Yeah, yes. I'll pour you some a little bit later. Yeah, I started the pregame hard because, well, we all know how I party.
Yeah.
You want to talk about stories?
Oh no. Well, yes, actually, but no at the same time. Maybe
So, brother, you brought us out here this week to discuss.
You invited me over, and I was just like, well, yeah, I'm coming over, but I got to do the show, so I'm going to bring all my stuff.
We're gonna talk.
You invited us out here this week to
I'm using you for content.
That's what the question is. Use one another
Yeah,
with each other's consent.
I brought up the topic to you because a lot has happened in recent years, and I've been mentioning stories, kind of trying to segue into it a little bit. But a lot has happened in recent years as far as storytelling. You see a lot more of cinema and Hollywood starting to repopulate the pool with regurgitations, right? We're seeing live action of what was once animated of what was once live action, so many different retellings and just mirror for mirror copies, such as like How to Train Your Dragon. Great movie.
But why? Why is it?
Exactly. What is that a necessary thing, right?
That's what's happening a lot.
That kind of got me thinking of, we discussed video games earlier. What about how storytelling has evolved with them? Like, we were kids, we were in arcades, we had home systems.
How were the stories back then?
Yeah, but also like
That's a great question.
Like, do you care about the story as much as you care about the game itself, the gameplay? Because I grew up like Mario, like Super Mario NES.
Yeah.
The story was go right and don't die.
Rescue Princess.
Rescue
Don't forget Rescue Princess. She might be in another castle.
Big
I was
bad.
trying to start the story out to like as much as possible. The booklet had like a page. It's like, oh, here's the story. Here's what's going on. But yeah, it's like, all right, step on stuff, collect power ups, rescue princess.
Right.
I remember
Choose
that.
another castle.
Yeah.
Powerful property.
but it was, so back then it was the gameplay was so tight, especially for the time, especially. That you just enjoyed playing it. Physically playing the game was fun. Fast forward to 2015, 16. I'm trying to remember when I got into it. I played Mass Effect Trilogy 4 times through because I just loved the story so much.
That's what I've heard.
And the gameplay was, it was
I
all right.
heard it differed depending on which one.
Well, the first one was real janky. And the second two were like, okay, well, because it was, first one was trying to be really more in depth with RPG elements of like, you're going to aim and fire at something, but there's still a random number generator in the background deciding if you hit it or not.
Oh,
Right.
Yeah.
I didn't know this.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but it's running in the background. You
You
didn't see like a dice roll on the screen.
Yeah. It's
And then they were like, okay, well, it's fine, whatever, but like cover shooters are getting kind of big and Gears of War is doing good, so let's do a little more of that with the Mass Effect stuff. And we'll taper down the RPG elements a little bit.
yeah. I was a fan of the Gears.
I mean, I like Gears.
I got into Mass Effect rather late.
Yeah, so did I. Like, I thought it was a PlayStation Network sale. It was like $5 for the trilogy.
Well, it's coming out after 98.
Huh?
In the 98 and after.
Well, so before we get to that real quick, when I there's a little bit of an age gap between the two of us. You grew up a little bit more
Well, between all of us.
with the Nintendo system.
Yeah.
But when I say a little bit of a gap, like you and I experienced relatively the same levels of gaming.
Yeah.
But, like for me, I was much more into fighting games. Fighting games, Sonic racing, stuff like that, but mostly fighting games. Mortal Kombat, Street Fighter, for sure.
Yeah.
And the only way to really know what was going on with the game was to either beat it if you could, or you could read the booklet if you hadn't lost it yet. And that would tell you some of the lore.
Or if you didn't rent it. If you rented it, you didn't get the booklet.
Yeah.
You got whatever the dude at Blockbuster decided to write on the spine of the cover.
Yeah, which was a farce because there's no menu for you to look up what moves there are. You can't check out how to do a Hadouken.
Yeah.
If you want to try and play as Vega,
If you play Street Fighter for more than 10 minutes and can't figure out how to do a Hadouken by yourself, probably shouldn't be playing video games.
That's fair. I'll give you that.
That's the first thing you accidentally stumble across. Oh, I threw a fireball.
Fair.
Yeah.
Fair. Kind of like doing a barrel roll and start.
Barrel roll.
We're gonna do it.
It's gonna happen.
But like that kind of brings up a good little segue. You know, games started to evolve to where they had some level of storytelling elements.
Yeah.
To where by the time 1998 came around, and I'm sure Natalie, you can.
Well, before we get to 1998, like even just on the NES, you went from Mario having just like
True. We
just
did have our elements.
in the booklet,
Yeah.
and then you get to one of my favorites, Ninja Gaiden.
Yeah.
Had cutscenes and like animations between like things. It told you like it's kind of bare bones, but there was a story. You're like, oh my god, it's like an anime. I don't really know what an anime is, but I guess this is one.
But now you like it.
We really shouldn't forget the implied storytelling that came from things like Zelda, Castlevania, Metro.
And that's a lot of environmental stories.
Yeah,
Especially
absolutely.
Environmental
Castlevania's vibes.
is stellar when it's.
And then, of course, we would be remiss not to mention any of the Final Fantasies.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Those are their own elements of storytelling, which, I mean, one of them has been remade now.
Yeah.
Well, they did pixel remasters of the original run.
That's true, up to 6.
Yeah, I think up to 6. So they're like,
Yeah.
they're still pixels, but they're like nice high def pixels.
There's an echo and a delay, FYI.
What?
Ooh.
From Neon Ghost 1-1.
Oh, okay. Thank you for chiming in on that, Ghost. I don't really know how to fix that. Because you got like, is your
Does that help out?
That probably should help because it should have been muted.
because I can't hear that anymore. Ghost, if you can just let us know what's going on. Yeah, you joined in a little late. I was saying earlier, I forgot my fancy mic, so we're just Sounds good now. Awesome. Thank you very much.
It's because we were unmuted.
Yeah.
I thought we were muted, but
You're muted.
we're
What?
correctly ordered
Sounds.
muted.
Sounds.
Song's good.
Sound. Sounds good. Awesome.
No picking up.
Yeah.
Got me a get fiddle.
Neon Ghost in the chat. Thanks for jumping in. I got to get better about because I'm gonna eventually when I get enough of these episodes together, I'm gonna start dumping them on Spotify.
Ooh.
But I got to get better at remembering to say like thank you so and so in the chat because if you're listening on Spotify, you can't see the video when I'm like referencing the chat. So people are just like they're just some non-sequitur and we're like, oh yeah, da 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 da. Oh yeah, cows. Yeah, cows are really weird. Yeah, I gotcha.
Wait, some people
moments and lessons learned.
Yeah.
on YouTube will like show the chat lot like as an overlay over there. Like,
Oh yeah.
YouTube.
Well, this like the way I've got this set up is I can actually just pull up and say like, I'll just show on stream like, Young Ghost. There's an echo and delay, FYI. Haha, no worries.
Yeah, I have it up.
Song's good now.
Oh yeah, there.
Yeah, so I can just pull those up. So when I'm, people watching the video, it's all good.
Wow.
Yeah.
Never been on this side of media technology.
Of media technology.
Media and technology.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's the first time for everything.
Yep. I mean, I have been on a podcast before, but it was not long. And we never speak about that podcast.
The reason I do this live is because I am intensely lazy. So that way, when I do want to bump it to a podcast, I just rip the audio and throw it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't have to sit there, and I'm not going to sit there and cut out all the uhs and ms and like that space. I'm just it's live. It's live. Take it what it is.
We're trying to get ready over here.
Yeah, I mean this is rough and ready. It's just getting ready for the week.
Like I'm surprised
Ready for the
Natalie's not
weekend.
putting her eyebrows on right now.
Well, she won't be on
I
camera,
have to
so
get the
can't even
edit.
see
Same
it.
expression.
Hey, but here's the thing: she's not on camera. We can just make up. We can just tell people what she's doing.
Right?
Yeah, we just make up whatever.
Yeah.
And no one will believe me.
Yeah, nobody knows what you're actually doing because you're not on video.
You know, she's wearing a shirt.
Poo poo platter. Young Ghost commented poo poo platter, so I put that
You
on.
got me. You got me.
All right. Let's get back. Let's get back to. Let's get back to the topic at hand because This is going to be a tight hour-long show, like I've promised to do since the beginning, since the first 3-hour marathon episode. But so where do we leave off on?
We just finished discussing Final Fantasy.
Oh, the Final Fantasy and the pixel remasters and stuff like that.
You were shifting towards like the production of stories, big names, and starting to talk about 98.
Right, because
Okay.
from her input,
Yeah.
she didn't have arcades like we did.
No.
Like
They
the
were
Quarter
arcade.
Lounge is vintage to her. Granted, it's classic and vintage to us.
Yeah.
But like that, like she didn't grow up with like Quarter Lounge. She grew up with GameWorks.
Oh yeah,
Maybe.
I miss GameWorks. You remember the tower in the middle of GameWorks?
Yeah.
I got a free play on that because the hot goth girl that was running it that day liked my outfit. She let me ride it for free.
Nice.
These 4 things.
Yeah, it means a lot of things. And it was.
Flash
I was
games.
looking back on it. I was like, I was wearing like a band T-shirt and camo shorts. I'm like, more things change, the more they stay the same. Yeah. I probably should have been like, if I were any smarter and less, had a little less of the tism going, I probably would have been like, oh, I should talk to her.
No.
She's like, yeah, I should be like, hey, thank you. Like, that was nice. What's your name? Like, I don't know. Do you want to go to the diner, the 50s diner next door in a minute and get a burger or something? Like, I should have, like, at least tried. But I was just like,
you didn't try and like show her your sweet skateboard.
What was fun?
The skate
I had never had sweet skateboard moves.
They had a skate park.
Yeah, but I can't skate. Not on a skateboard.
You don't have to tell her.
She's going to find out real quick.
Yeah, but if you're
You just
cool,
go.
you don't
That's
actually skate. You just have the board.
I didn't even own a board.
Right.
Because I couldn't skate on it.
Right.
Why would I own a
So
board?
get edgy and steal the board.
I don't have a gun, much less many guns to necessitate a gun rack.
Well,
Not many people win guns.
3 people got that joke and they're not here right now. Anyway, so gameplay, and story. What was the first game that made you cry, or at least get an emotional reaction out of you? Because it was Chrono Trigger for me. You're talking about Final Fantasy. Chrono Trigger messed me up as a young pup.
Oh man.
Because there's that courtroom scene where they go over everything you've done up till then and use it against you. And I got sent to jail. I was like, oh no, I messed up. I realized later, like, you're going to jail no matter what. But like, they just point out all these things you did that you didn't think anything about. And that's when I realized, like, oh, you can do a lot with the idea of storytelling in games.
Mm-hmm.
And of getting emotional reactions out of people through gaming. And Jeff.
I think that, man, for me, gosh, that's a tough one. Ooh.
Doesn't have to be like.
I know one recently.
Okay, just an emotional reaction other than throwing a controller.
Yeah,
That's the baseline because that's the first one you get.
Cry.
Yeah.
Just because I play fighting games, you have to
Yeah.
immediately assume that
Yeah.
I control it. You're right.
Yeah.
And so, tell people. No, I think that for me, the first time I ever got emotional with the, yeah, that's exactly it. I was literally just about to say that. It was God of War 2018.
I'm trying to get through that.
I know you're messing through it. You told me.
It's not grabbing me. I don't know why.
It's the gameplay or the story.
It's the gameplay feels too like clunky and like, here's the gimmick you want to learn for this fight. It's the original God of Wars were just like, hey, here's your buttons, have fun. And that's what I'm used to for God of War. Not like, hey, if you do this, you can block and you can parry. Like, no, I don't want to block and parry. I want to beat somebody.
See, that's kind of how I feel with the Jedi Survivor and Fallen Order games.
I love those.
I don't. Well, see,
People have said similar stuff about The Witcher.
I don't know why. Which is good. I don't know. Yes, I don't know why it would take like 90 hits to kill a stormtrooper with a lightsaber.
New Game Plus on Survivor. New Game Plus on Survivor. I'm going to use the Purity perk that overpowers your lightsaber to one-hit kills, but you also die in one hit.
Sounds like
So it's more realistic.
So there's storytelling in games, and then there's for no reason. I'm looking at anyone who likes from software.
Hey.
The only reason I
tried to play Bloodborne because I heard good things.
So good,
and it's gorgeous. I love Castlevania games.
Yeah,
and it looks like the most perfect 3D Castlevania.
Yeah,
but
why?
Why?
It's from software.
Why from software? Why do you do this to people? Why do people enjoy this?
I think they have like masochistic.
Look me in the eye, America, and tell America, Japan, Europe, Brazil. Now Brazil's still on the Mega Drive.
The one guy from software who makes those games.
Why do you enjoy these?
So punishing.
He brought some masochists out of everybody.
Hmm?
Oh wow!
I haven't heard that about it.
I took the disc for Death Stranding out of the PlayStation, bent it in half, and chucked it into a wall.
Oh wow!
No. I ran out of throwing darts.
Hey, I did that once when I was mad at my sister over a CD.
So the story of Death Stranding, it's not terrible if you can manage to follow it. It's Hideo Kojima, so
that's why.
So it's one half dozen the other on that. But with Hideo Kojima, he does do very great cinematic storytelling when he's given the chance to do his thing. And have someone like Konami get in the way of him doing things.
He doesn't need somebody in the way, but he needs somebody just like reeling him in a little bit. Just like, hey, maybe just yeah.
Sekiro was great.
He has his things that he likes. I won't mention.
You know what he needs? You know what he needs? Is he needs George Lucas's ex-wife. Because the Star Wars movies were the original Star Wars movie was a mess until his wife got in the editing room and cut it down and turned it into something usable.
Yeah.
Kojima needs. I can't remember her name right now.
Your Jewish wife.
Somebody in the chat, tell me George Lucas's ex-wife name. I don't know what it is. Kojima needs that. Somebody that can go like, hey, look, you're doing some great storytelling. You're doing some great world building. This is really awesome. Good stuff. Look, nobody wants to watch a 45-minute cutscene.
Yeah, that's
Very few.
he's really good.
If I see a YouTube video over 15 minutes, I'm like,
thank you.
So
no. Kathleen Kennedy, and also no. JK. I heard it's Marsha Lucas. I don't know. What did you say that name?
Marsha?
Oh, Martha. Is it Martha? It's Martha, isn't it? I'm just making references. I'm pre-gaming because this is what we're doing here. I don't have to make sense all the
Man,
time.
you're so spicy you didn't even open that hot sauce.
Yeah, right? Yeah. I'm also the only adult on the internet. I didn't say that earlier in the intro,
Sure.
so there you go. I have the website to prove it now.
I'm a child.
It's a link tree, and then
Okay.
Wolf had to go in the back end and get it linked over.
Oh no.
Because Cloudflare is a great registrar. Their redirecting is so obtuse and weird. Because I didn't want to go to GoDaddy again because I'm like, oh, GoDaddy. They had all kinds of issues with them, just as a company being weird.
Why not try WordPress?
WordPress is where you build stuff on. I just need
do it yourself.
Yeah, I just needed a place I could get the website name posted, or the website name registered.
What's that website?
So GoDaddy would do that.
What?
There's a website that we learned together. Spoiler alert: Veritas and I attended university.
University.
What are we talking about?
University.
One of our professors shared a link to a website where you can look and see if they're registered. It's not good.
Oh.
And you can pay like $2.99, like legitimately the registry for a website.
Oh.
You can pay for any register.
Oh yeah.
If the lectures are still
That's what I'm saying. That's what I've done.
Okay.
I used to use GoDaddy all the time because it was like the most popular. It's easy, just whatever.
Yeah.
And their redirecting is super simple.
Yeah.
You just like sign in and go, this is the link to where I want my website address to go to.
Gotcha.
And it just sends it over there.
Gotcha.
But it's just two boxes you fill out.
I got it.
And then
I misunderstood you earlier.
Cloudflare is like all this stuff you got to code and do all this stuff. And I was like, well, help me.
What's the matter? You don't know how to make an HTML header?
No. I did just like send him an email and just like add him to my thing, so he could get in there and get in the back end of it and do all this stuff. And I'm sure it took him longer to get signed in and like into it because it was like 2-factor authentication. We're going back and forth, just trying to like make sure he had all the stuff he needed, verifications to get in there. And I'm sure once he got in there, it took him like 2 seconds.
Well, he sits there and he does his little looking like the mask.
Yeah, just be dramatic about it.
Being Jim Carrey dramatic about it. Really funny.
But
funny.
The point of the story is the only adult on the internet.com. You can find all the links to you're already watching this, so you already know at least how to get to YouTube or Twitch. So thank you for tuning in. But there's my social follows, all that kind of stuff is on there too.
Sorry.
Groovy. Yeah. Earthworm Jim. That was a game that had scant storytelling, but you really
did you have to get the fish, eat the fish, or free the fish?
All of the above.
Or was the fish evil?
I can't remember which fish.
Did you play the one with the grandma would like hit you and say like fish, and then just hit you over the head with a rolling pin?
Yeah, I mean I played both of them, but I'm just trying to like
parse out the memories because it's been a long time since I played
And like the game over screen with some cows.
it. Yeah,
Like it was a Chick-fil-A ad.
yeah. Before the Chick-fil-A ads did that.
Yeah.
Like, that was another thing. It was just like that's all. That's all just environmental and visual storytelling. It just like you just kind of understand what's going on because you're going through these levels, and it's
Absolutely.
But it didn't bop you over the head with a story.
So you asked me earlier, what made me emotional?
Oh yeah. That's where we're at. Well, yeah, the first like
What was it for? Because I can mention a couple.
yeah.
But what was it for you?
Well, it's like I was saying, like when the first time when I was playing Chrono Trigger in Super NES, when it was like I rented
Yeah, give me more than just saying Chrono.
when I rented Chrono Trigger. It was just a random like Blockbuster weekend rental, and just playing. I was like, okay, wow, it's like an RPG. I don't know if I really like this style. Because I don't like the turn-based gameplay. You know, I like more action, like I'm involved, action-oriented gameplay. This is what I'm used to, especially for Super Nintendo games. Because I think the weekend before that, I'd rented Super Star Wars. So like,
Yeah.
so that's a big shift. That's a big downshift, in
Just a bit.
yeah. But I realized like, yeah, they're telling a story. They're using text and music. Music's gorgeous in that game. They're doing things that they were doing things in that game that Legend of Zelda: Link to the Past was doing visually to tell stories, but adding text based, like, okay, we just need to actually tell the story. You need to read the story. You need to have dialogue between these characters. You have to understand the character of these characters. These are all different characters. They all have different personalities. They act different ways. They're going to react different ways.
Silent protagonist stories.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Your character is fairly quiet.
There's that bottom killing.
Yeah. And they're about to make another one because $80. But I digress. Yeah, when it got to, so I'm just going through this game and I'm doing things and like, so I remember distinctly this one thing. So like, early in the game, you're in the market, the fair, the town fair thing, and you've got that girl that's just running around with you and she's trying to look at stuff and like, you don't know who she is yet. She's just some random chick that's just like tagging along with you, and there's a point where she's looking at a table of like wares from some shop, person. And if you try to walk away, he kind of grabs her and pulls her. She's like, "Oh, I'm not done yet." And you don't think anything of it. You're just like, "Okay, well, I'll just let her finish out, whatever she's doing." Later, when you find out who she is, you're pulled into court, and they think you're trying to kidnap her, and they use that against you. They're like, "Oh yeah, we've got evidence of you trying to like grab her and pull her away from this situation." And I was like, "Oh no! Everything I've done up until this point has weight and matters." And that was the first time I was like, "Video games can be more than run to the right and save the princess, or run to the right and we're going to give you a cool anime cutscene." There's consequences to your actions. You can make different choices and have different consequences.
So
that really, and I was, a kid. That shook me a little bit.
and that's an excellent point to kind of bring up. When games come along and make you think about your decisions and legitimately ask yourself whether or not.
Yeah. Neon Ghost in chat says, "I prefer storytelling in the gameplay."
Yeah.
No cutscenes.
No cutscenes, yeah.
So, I think a mild example of what Neon Ghost is talking about, Bioshock.
Oh.
It's a game predicated on you making all these choices and following all these directions.
It
And it challenges you
Which
to
you
think
kind
of, Exactly. Would you kindly? Which is why I will never, ever look at an email that has the word kindly in it. You
Yeah.
immediately go to the spam folder.
Yeah.
You are not a real person.
You're gone. Yeah.
You are trying to get me to suggest it. But it and Telltale games are kind of the same way, I think. You know, building your own story.
Yeah.
Kind of making you question your decisions, thinking of just the small
They will
minutiae.
remember.
Yeah.
This.
A little redundant there, but the little things that you did that brought you to this weird location, this point, and you're like, if I pet the cat, is that gonna? Am I gonna die? What 2 levels?
Don't say that because I just
Am I
started.
gonna lose Catwoman?
Stray?
Don't
get the cat.
Don't put that in my head because I just started playing Dragon Age Veilguard, and you can pet the cats, and I've been
Yeah,
petting
you can't.
every cat
can't.
I've seen.
Oh my
You can't.
God.
And also, it's so funny because I'll show you pictures later, and I'll put pictures in my. I think I might have put pictures on my thread or whatever, so the people can see them. My rook in Veilguard is like this 8-foot tall dude with horns, and
Oh crap.
yeah, just this big, like he's got horns and a mullet and just a big. He looks like Drew McIntyre as a demon.
Wow.
The earliest memory I have for story game for me is Dragon Age Origins. The
Oh,
original
yeah.
one. That one was not like But
Yeah,
it was also I think the first
that's
game
another.
that I
That's
played that
another Bioware game,
Yeah.
like Mass Effect. That Mass
Yeah.
Effect just.
they were good, but the first one, the original, was I think the only one I really remember emotionally at least.
Yeah.
It was also the first game I could romance people, I think. So that took an effect on me.
Oh yeah, that'll do it.
We'll do it if you're creepy about it.
But then it like peaked into Baldur's Gate 3, I think, which is the ultimate storytelling based game. Because there's so many ways you can play that game. Everything's a choice.
I
No.
have heard that I need to investigate.
I've been told that. I've been
so
told that
good.
too.
It's phenomenal.
But again, it's like, I'm not-
beautifully phenomenal.
Like, I don't like turn-based stuff. Like that's my like tripping point on that.
That's fair. That is like I understand. A lot of people like.
I want to smack stuff with a stick and
Yeah.
then go up and shoot a fireball. I don't need to wait my turn.
But if you're like a huge D&D fan, like this is like the closest you'll get to actual good.
But that's the other thing I've heard is like it's very tabletop role playing
Super
rules, so
amazing.
it makes sense to do the turn based.
And
Yeah.
that's cool if I'm doing a tabletop role play.
Or controlling 4 people.
Yeah.
does
But
get
if I'm paying
burdensome.
$80 for a property that I just have a license to, that I can have unlimited funding, I want to have unlimited
What I've heard is you can like I was like you know Matt Day. I was talking to him about it. And he was like, you don't even have to get into combat sometimes. Like it's so
It's possible.
it's
Just
so
like World of Warcraft. You
it's
can just be a
built
leather
so
worker.
openly that you can actually just talk your way out of anything.
Everything.
Yeah,
It's amazing. There's so many different ways to play the game.
yeah. And he's like the biggest D&D guy I know. And he said it's just like a tabletop game.
It's beautiful.
In the way you can just make the way
romantically beautiful.
you can choose everything about how you approach everything.
So let me ask you this. Would you rather, because I think Neon Ghost, if you're still with us, you might maybe have an opinion on this as well, or anybody else in the chat, really.
Yeah.
But particularly to the whole point of cutscenes and minimal cutscenes.
Yeah.
Are you more preferential to something like Baldur's Gate, or to something like Hades really keep your interest? Like, you're playing along and you have to die. You have to go through the
Oh, I mean, you already know I've got
reveal the story.
I have put weeks of my life into Hades.
It's so beautiful.
Like, you know that I told you, I was like, every milestone, because I know you'd already played it. We were talking about it when I started playing it a couple years back. And I'd text you every milestone. It was like, oh, this is my 10th run against Dad. Like I'm about to get that 10 kill milestone and see what the next thing is.
It had such tight game mechanics though that
And that is another thing. Like, it played amazingly. So it was just like, okay, one more run, one more run,
It was addictive.
one more run. But also, every run opened up a little bit of the story.
Mm-hmm.
It's perfectly tuned to be an addictive game.
I think that was the first of its kind, but I think it was like the first.
And that's it's a roguelike. So
Yeah.
Rogue was the first.
Yeah.
That was a game from years, decades back.
This is the most recent one that had like a phenomenal storytelling value.
Yeah.
to it.
And now I've gone back. Like I've downloaded Bastion. I still haven't started playing that, but that's
Ooh,
same
yeah.
developers.
Supergiant.
Yeah.
Supergiant, phenomenal people. Good on you, Supergiant, for making those games.
Mhm.
I haven't played the new one.
I've jumped into so many games recently just because I want to find a game that hooks me as much as the Mass Effect trilogy did, and I just haven't found it yet.
Yeah, I know.
And
I tried to get you on Returnal.
Eternal. That one also.
I've recently been told.
Mechanics.
I've recently been told, Neon Ghost included, everybody jumped on me. Like I said, I had not played Red Dead 2.
Oh.
Well, goodbye to whatever life you
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I keep hearing. So I'm like, maybe that's going to be the one.
had.
I wanted Ghost of
Rockstar
Tsushima.
games.
I wanted Ghost of Tsushima to be the one that would hook me. It's fun, and I like playing it to relax
There's
because
a
I can just
sequel
chase
coming out.
foxes and birds
There's a sequel coming
and
out.
ride horses. And I want to play it so I can play the sequel. I thought Horizon was going to be it. It's fun. It's fun to mess around and
It's
go
got
for
an
the world.
interesting story.
It's an interesting story,
It's
but it's not
amazing.
like the gameplay. But the thing, the gameplay, too many mechanics.
Yeah, there are a lot.
There's
of
one
mechanics.
too many. Just like, okay, you got to do this, and you make your potions, and you throw your potions to the thing, and then you pull your arrow, and you do that. I'm like, oh, okay, you're just
People felt that way about the potions and the magic in Witcher.
yeah.
I've heard that.
Witcher. That was the next one I was
no.
going to say. Witcher. Like
Witcher
just too much
3,
crafting.
Yeah, there's a lot of crafting.
Yeah.
Too
and
much
then the
crafting.
tree.
I want
Yeah.
Doom guy.
Character trees.
I need my guns
Yeah.
and a melee. And now I'm
I will tell you the moment I started losing interest in Witcher 3.
Oh.
I was walking around a swamp, and I ran into my first drowner,
Ah.
and it took too long to kill him.
Oh.
I was like,
They're annoying.
"You're nothing. You're a little green weird guy. One sword swipe should have killed you. I used the right and left sword.
One use the silver one. That was for the monster.
I used both swords, and
One's
neither of them
less
were
effective.
any more effective than the other.
One's less effective. One is definitely less effective.
Yeah, but I know there's a monster sword and there's a regular sword, but it was just
It's
like,
a human sword and a monster sword.
yeah, but it was like,
head ass.
I was like, I'm looking at it because I'm like, okay, you're a little weird green guy. You're a level 1 enemy.
It should they were like based like like the low level drowners and then the upper level drowners. The upper level drowners are annoying as fuck. But also like the times when you were like underwater and there were drowners, it was always a one shot, one kill thing.
I haven't been
At that
underwater.
point, why were they there? Like,
Yeah.
it was automatic hit every time. If anything, they were just a nuisance. But the gameplay mechanics definitely Witcher has some complaints about.
It's
It was
clunky.
applauded for its story.
It's
And
clunky.
yeah.
And a little stiff, like he's very like, I am the Witcher. I'm walking. Here's my sword. Ah!
Even
What I
so
don't-
cold.
What I don't necessarily.
I also played The Witcher after playing Jedi Survivor, so like that's not a way.
Wow.
That is not a way to win me over.
No.
Jedi Survivor is like it's Star Wars.
That
So
is a
I'm going to
good
jump into that
game.
just to be in Star Wars for a while, and that's a game I will play. That is a game mechanically I will play just to traverse the levels,
It's
just to Jedi parkour my ass around
On the crack in the wall yet?
the long one. No, I heard about it. I've
You
watched.
heard about it?
I've seen the video. I'm not going to do that 5-minute thing. Hey, walk through the wall. If
There's nothing there.
oh, I know. Well, there's
Oh, I mean nothing in terms of like you're not going to get anything.
oh yeah. I've already got all the unlockables.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna next. I'm gonna do New Game Plus.
So that brings up a good point.
Yeah.
Puzzles.
Hmm.
Games that have puzzle mechanics.
Yeah.
Jedi Survivor is a great example of something that had a fairly intuitive amount of puzzle solving.
Yeah.
You could go through there and get everything taken care of without having to look anything up. It wasn't
Yeah.
so obtuse.
It was a lot
Except for that
more.
one.
It was a lot more accessible than the Arkham games and the Riddler trophies.
Yo, those are easy.
No.
Yeah, the first one.
Oh, yeah. Asylum, yeah. City?
City was so.
Arkham Knight? I'm not driving that much.
Okay, yeah. You know what? I'll give you that one. Forget about the driving.
I'm not doing those. I'm just not doing it. I'm just not doing it. I like the Batmobile. It's fun. It controls really great for what it is. I'm not doing the puzzles. I'm not doing puzzles with a car.
Yeah, no. That's trash. Those are hard. Those are real hard. I don't know if you ever played it, but
No. My limit was so. I
you
got
ruined the
start.
Batmobile.
Yeah.
Oh.
You made the Batmobile not fun.
Yeah.
Also, the streets were so narrow, and it's very Gotham-y, but, like, give me something. Give me a little, like, space to just open up the throttle on that thing.
Let me
go for a
murder
minute.
someone with Batman.
Let me just take that thing around.
Shock them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, granted, is it fun to take down people with the car? Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah. Car takedowns?
Yeah, car takedowns are great. But
Do a spin out and jump out and
heck yeah,
land
bro.
on? Yeah.
Yeah.
I need to finish that. I bought a PlayStation 4 to play that game, and I never finished it.
You know what? I will say this. While I do like the Arkham games, I feel that the Spider-Man games are a little too much. If I had never played an Arkham game,
Yeah.
played Spider-Man or Spider-Man 2,
Yeah.
they'd be my favorite game.
I'm just gonna say
For
this.
storytelling purposes and for gameplay.
I never played any of the new Spider-Man games. Also because like I knew they were cribbing a little bit from the Arkham games, and also I don't really have superhero fatigue as much as I have Spider-Man fatigue. I have been in the trenches since the animated series in the 90s. I've seen a lot of Spider-Mans come and go. But every time I've seen a little clip of a Spider-Man property, I'm like, that's really good. I need to watch that and play that. But then I think about it, I'm like, I'm just real tired of Spider-Man. Yeah. There's so many Spider-Man going on. Just do something different.
I'll take that Jameson.
Anything. I'm gonna get one more beer here.
Here, let me help you out.
Okay, appreciate that.
It
Yeah.
is much.
I have to stay on camera because it's my beautiful face selling this entire property.
True.
That's right.
You are the market value of this.
Yeah, just another false side. Yeah. I think I'm just gonna try to get them to sponsor the show.
Oh, hell yeah.
That would be great.
That would be amazing.
False Idle Brewing, North Richland Hills,
Pay
Texas.
attention to us.
Sponsor this show. I'll do it at the brewery. I was there
hell
earlier getting
yeah.
ready. I was there earlier getting ready for this because they got good Wi-Fi.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, I appreciate it. So, because we're coming up on the hour, and I want to get to some of the questions that I promised to do. Last thoughts on gameplay. Let's drill down just like gameplay versus story. What is your final thought on which one is the real like tipping point in what's going to keep you coming back to a game?
Great question. For a fighting game, I don't
Any
need
game.
to play through every single character.
It really doesn't.
Mortal Kombat makes you do that.
Yeah. Until Mortal Kombat 9, the story was good. It wasn't really like it was backseat. It was there kind of because of the movies, but it was more backseat.
The PlayStation 2 games with the Conquest,
Yeah.
the story
Conquest mode was kind of
that was cool. That was cool.
But
Which is actually it reminds me.
it didn't force you to play every
Yeah,
character.
you played a character made for the Conquest mode. Which reminds me, that's why I realize that's why I like Veilguard.
Yeah.
Dragon Age Veilguard is the Mortal Kombat Conquest mode, but just like fleshed out. It's got similar gameplay, similar like just worlds that you just run around in and interact with in a similar way. I love it. I love it. I think that's anyway. I don't know why I had to interject that. I just need to get that out.
You already got that off your chest.
Yeah, but so what do
It's not
you
like
think?
you're sponsored by
For
Dragon Ball.
Yeah.
Get some. No.
Yeah.
I think it doesn't matter what kind of game it is. If the story is really good, but even if the gameplay is bad, I will. Because the story is engaging enough for like, I'm second for a good story. There's nothing.
Like Dave the Diver.
That one's just fun. The gameplay's just fun. The story isn't as there. It's kind of there, yeah.
There's a story.
There's a
Dave the
story
Diver.
there,
Yeah.
but it's
It's
not.
backseat.
It's fun.
Very
It's
backseat.
it's loose. It's lighthearted. It's
Yeah.
there's not too much like peril. It's not like a story with like an exposition and a conflict and
Sure.
but Dead the Diver is, I would say, it's more fun than it is good with storytelling. Not to take away from its story that
Right.
it has. But yeah, I'm like, having the last good story.
While you think about that real quick, I want to interject with a game that I do think is a good candidate for something that balances both worlds. And
Sounds
if you're in it for the story, great. If you're in it for the gameplay, great. If you're in it for both, great. Doom 2016 and Doom Eternal.
I haven't played 2016.
I haven't played the new Doom.
Yeah.
The Dark Ages.
Yeah, I haven't played that yet either. But I did jump into. This is actually. I'm going to say that is a really good segue because one of the questions I was asked, was best shooter game layout, first or third person, and I only jumped into Doom 2016 because I realized you could widen the focus.
Yeah.
My issue with first person shooters, it's such a narrow focus. And I get so turned around, tunnel vision, and turn around and lost. And I was like, well, okay, Doom 2016 allows that.
Yeah.
I don't remember how I found that out. I just did, and it was like it's on PlayStation Plus.
Yeah.
It cost me nothing to try.
Yeah.
So I booted it up. I widened the field of focus, and I started playing. I was like, oh, this is awesome.
Yeah.
Like this is so much fun.
Games are made for that.
Yeah.
To have that
Accessibility
wider
options
FOV.
are, yeah.
Oh, yeah. You want to talk about a game with accessibility? I know you don't care for Horizon.
I like it. I really like it. It's just there's so
Mass
many
Effect
things.
did too,
To some degree.
the re-release.
Yeah.
Finally correct.
Oh yeah, the Legendary Edition. I started up my playthrough on that. I didn't get too far. I don't remember why. There's just other stuff was going on, and I didn't get sucked into it as hard as I did the last 4 times I played it.
You want to talk about a good first-person shooter? Crisis.
So yeah, I think that's.
I love Crisis.
But I'm always going to, and this kind of ties things together. I'm always going to defer to a third-person shooter, which is why I was so excited about getting Helldivers too. And that's another type of storytelling. That is emergent storytelling.
For democracy.
There's an overarching kind of story, and they're like, hey, do this, this. But you're telling the story when you're in the field.
Yeah.
It's you and your
You impact the story for everyone.
you impact the story, but also the story is you and the people on your team.
It's a very community-based thing.
Yeah.
I do like that a lot.
I wish they allowed for you to like drop into mod areas and practice.
Oh, something, yeah.
And like road builds and stuff. Because we
Yeah.
would do that in a different game called Ready or Not.
Oh.
And it was really helpful because Ready or Not's an extremely tactical shooter.
Yeah.
It
Super
is,
tactical. Oh my god.
Very lifelike.
Gotcha.
You're supposed to be non-lethal to get the best outcomes of all the missions and everything, but having some level of training in Helldivers would be nice because getting in there and trying to do a tactic only to have a file type just rip you in half immediately.
I do. I agree with that. It would be nice to like if I could just play that single player and just like running through like.
Well, see, I used to be able to play Helldivers on single player at like really high difficulties, and then all those.
Well, I mean, just as like
changes
training
started rolling in.
missions, not like online with other people, but just like training missions.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
I used to dive by myself.
Because they made it less favorable for one person.
Yeah, when they started rolling out all the changes,
Yeah.
initially after the launch, this is right after. they started making it a lot harder to survive on your own. I used to be able to do math with zero visibility and get everything done by myself. Now, no. Well, I don't know about now, but it did get to a point where it wasn't.
It wasn't fun for you anymore.
No, because I had to be too tactical, and that got me too back into my old days and old ways.
Yeah, I can.
Got me some
empathize.
PTSD, sir.
All right.
Side of fries. Just kidding. Fries are food.
Let me transition. I got a couple more questions I want to go through. So like, a lot of people that started following me, like, it's because my wrestling takes on threads and stuff. So I gotta answer some wrestling related stuff.
Oh yeah, brother.
So and I do have to answer this one. Who is your wrestling crush?
Ooh, I remember.
So
can I answer this in Macho Man?
Is it Macho Man?
I mean, you can answer it however you want to. I'm going to answer it first,
Yeah.
and then you can answer it however you want to. The full question was, who is your wrestling crush? Male, female, non-binary, or all three, or whatever.
Yeah.
So I'm I think I could probably have one for. What are you up to? Oh, you're getting the shredder shades down. All right, Masha, let me answer the question before you get all worked up there. Wrestling crush. I know a lot of people like, and I agree. Like Chris Statlander is muscle mommy uppies. Yeah, great.
Yep.
Thunder Rosa though, like he's just actually my type.
Thunder Rosa.
Literally just my like.
Attractive, especially
and I've also like
Also just as high.
I've literally dated people like her with that like yeah that like she reminds me of exes of mine. So I'm just like, yeah, Thunder Rosa. I just like, let's go get breakfast tacos and hang out. Like, cool. But also like, I don't know how much you know about wrestling at all.
Nothing.
I know Jeff knows a little bit. He knows quite. I don't know. We don't talk wrestling that much. We
haven't talked wrestling in a while just because.
So, Abaddon. You know Abaddon?
I do know Abaddon.
Abaddon posted a picture of themselves without makeup, without the wrestling makeup.
That I have not seen.
Cool.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
It's a picture of a drink on a poster.
I'm gonna see if I can pull this up at least just to show you. I
will take your word for it.
Look that up when you get a chance. I was like, everybody in the group chat was like, oh, I was not familiar with your game. Like
so,
that is okay.
Let me ask you this: when you were a kid, were you a Trish Stratus or Lita?
No,
I'm not talking Lita with Edge. I'm talking Lita back when it was too extreme. When it still was just Hardy.
Oh, well, those two was Lita. Yeah, it was obviously Lita. Yeah. Yeah.
No. For me, like, first wrestling crush, man, it's a toss-up between Sable. Sable and Tori.
Yeah.
But when Lita came along, Lita took the lead.
Yeah.
Lita. And I was never really into Trish. I had a weird crush on Stephanie.
I'm gonna be a weird crush.
Well, she has her straight hair. She's very attractive to me.
Right?
Curly hair, not so much. Curly hair, I associate her with like,
the crimped hair.
Yeah. You know what I'm talking about.
Trying too hard.
Like it's
trying too hard.
Like the only thing I can picture is Jericho righteously serving her a bowl of her lap. Yeah, it's cool. It's awesome.
None of them seem like that.
You don't have any wrestling crushes?
I wouldn't even remember.
You wouldn't date Stone Cold Steve Austin?
No.
What? Out of here. All right. Okay.
Physically, at least. I don't know.
Oh, you
personally. Physically.
Okay, so then should wrestlers go easier in matches to preserve their career, or go all out all the time? And this is one like I want to do a longer video about this. There's a couple questions. There's a couple questions that if I don't answer them here, I'm going to do separate videos just to like have the time to explore the topic.
I'm going to say Chris for the win. And also, what? I'm not sure what they were whatting.
What? What? Thank you. I can't read the chat and my notes at the same time on this.
Yeah, no, Chris, the alien from another world, Chris Statlander.
Yeah.
I love
Yeah.
love that. That movie together.
Oh no! She did the boop thing.
Oh, yeah.
And everybody, if Blade's watching, boop.
Dude, you know what I do have a crush on? Bailey.
Bailey?
Still. Bailey's dead.
Oh yeah.
In a heartbeat. Bailey is.
I love that whenever she goes to Europe, they have a chance for Bailey.
Huh?
The chant. Have you heard the European crowd for Bailey?
I don't remember what
They
it
sing
is.
Bailey, would you
Like,
be my
would
girl?
you be my girl? Yeah.
Would you be my yeah.
Like I don't remember the chant. But
Yeah. Oh yeah, Bailey's definitely
Yeah.
my type. Too.
Like
yeah.
she got taken aback. I remember when they first went back over there the first time in a long time,
Oh yeah.
and they started singing that in the crowd. And she was just like, "I'm a heel," but
Yeah.
man, like they were cheering her on.
Oh yeah, I love Bailey. Love Bailey. Okay, so
What was your?
let me get the chat thing out of here. Okay, there we go. I gotta switch over and do so wrestlers go easier in the ring to preserve their career or go all out each match. And like I was saying, is like I do want to drill down on this a little deeper, so I'll probably do a solo video with this and a couple other questions I'm not gonna get to today.
Yeah.
But
Take it easier to preserve their career or their health.
their health and career. Because if your health is
Kinda
good,
go
So like,
because the idea, okay.
people like Kenny Omega or Mick Foley or
So
any of
here's the
hardcore
concept. There's a
guys.
concept of the bump card.
Right.
So you get every time you take a bump, you punch a hole in the bump card, and eventually you don't have any bumps left.
Yeah.
That card disintegrates and you're done.
Yeah.
So it's like, do you preserve that bump card as long as you can, or do you just go all out for the entertainment factor? And it's the boring answer is going to be, well, you just have to balance the two of them. You look at like somebody like the Miz, who's like he's been injured twice or something, like major injuries, taking him out.
I mean, I can't even begin to mention Ric Flair. Like, you say what you want to about the Nature Boy.
Yeah.
That dude survived that. Was it a plane crash or a helicopter crash? I can't remember. Survived that. Got in really, really good shape.
Well, because before the crash, he was a big guy.
Yes.
He was a big
That's what
boy.
I'm saying. He got in really good
Then
shape.
he slimmed down because he was like, I can't carry this weight. It's too hard to carry all this extra weight on me. He slimmed down. And he was in good shape for a 70s wrestler.
But he knew how to go. And
He knew how to go.
Like, he would still get up and do dumb stuff.
Yeah, we'd always do
I
that.
call him high risk.
He wasn't. He did the turnbuckle move. He had one aerial
Move that
turnbuckle
he could
move.
never make.
Yeah, moving. Yeah, it was always the running gag. It's like he's never gonna hit it. He's never gonna hit this fucking move.
Yeah.
Freaking move. But he's also
You do have to like Kenny's had to change his playing style, especially since he had the
diverticulitis. Yeah. One also like the famous thing is always you look at Stone Cold broke his neck.
Yeah, wrestled completely different.
Yeah, he changed. He was a technical wrestler.
Mm-hmm.
He had a match with Owen Hart.
Back when he was stunning Steve Austin.
Well, no, he was the ringmaster.
Yeah, he was a ringmaster, but he was stunning. Wasn't he stunning Steve Austin?
He was
when
stunning
with
Steve Austin in
with
WCW.
the blonde? Yeah,
In
with blonde.
WCW
Yeah.
with Hollywood Blondes.
Yeah.
The Owen Hart was his
Yeah,
early
Owen Hart gave him a pile driver.
was the early days in WWF. No, I think he'd already ditched ringmaster.
Yeah.
He had already started transitioning into Stone Cold.
Yeah.
But yeah, that pile driver, like he couldn't do the technical stuff. He was just like
He had already
Punch
won
and kick.
the King of the Ring.
yeah, it was time to go just punch and kick. Do a stoner, get out.
I think he did.
Yeah.
But
it's like my thing. But I would boil it down to this: is like wrestlers don't have to go full on every match.
Right.
There are TV matches for a reason. There are dark matches for a reason. You get in, you do the hits, you have a match, it's good, get out of there, build that part of the story. That's fine. You don't have to like do all the flips, you don't have to bleed, you don't have to do, all this stuff. It's always about choosing the moments to do that, to heighten the build in the story.
Of course.
And I don't think people that watch wrestling for the big moments that just like, oh, I'm going to watch the clips to get ready for the pay-per-view, and that's kind of how I watch wrestling.
Watch the high spots.
Watch the high spots, get ready for the pay-per-view. That's how I watch wrestling. Cool. That's a fine thing to do. I've done that.
Yeah.
But that's not what the actual daily, the week-to-week show is like. Week-to-week show is like, I watch Collision and Dynamite. And just as an example, like, Will Ospreay looks like he goes nuts every episode of the show. He really doesn't.
Yep.
He's just
not compared to how he does
really good at putting things together and just using like his athleticism to make everything look really compelling and really over the top. Yeah. He's a show. When they get to the pay-per-view, though, then he really pulls out all the stops. And you're like, oh, that's a different thing. That's a different gear. He's a really good example of like, you don't have to go super hard day to day if you know how to use your tool set effectively.
I'd be interested to get on one of your. I know we're kind of pushing time here.
Yeah.
I'd be interested to get on one of your shows talking about wrestling.
More wrestling focused ones.
I mean,
you get me started, and I start saying things I didn't even realize I understood.
I'm pretty sure I've thrown out some things you didn't think I knew.
Yeah. Oh no, we'll definitely link back up.
Oh,
So we'll do a more wrestling focused one.
Oh, sure. We'd have
Yeah. But yeah, to wrap it.
beers.
Yeah. 2 beers.
3 beers.
3 beers. Vodka. Margarita. But yeah, it's the balance of it. It's I don't think anybody needs to slow down. I think they just need to find a good balance
I agree.
and work.
I think Cody Rhodes is going to get better.
Yeah, but then he talks, and you're like, oh, shut up, Cody.
I'd
Jeez.
rather hear Cody than the Young Bucks right now.
Dustin is the best Rhodes there's been. All right, last question. Is there anybody you'd cut from the AEW roster? And I'm gonna.
These are not questions for me.
No, yeah. I was telling you, like these are just. I got to answer the wrestling questions. People are asking.
Question.
From the AEW roster, and I got 2. I already looked it up. I got 2, and people are gonna hate this.
Oh wow. Okay.
Well, I don't know if they're gonna hate it, but like, it's not maybe expected answers. Well, one of them is Camille needs to go. Women's roster, Camille. You're looking at me like, you give me this look like who? And exactly, yeah. She adds nothing. You've got what I don't understand what Camille does in that roster. You've got
There's a lot of.
she's big and she's
never
strong.
hear about.
She's big and she's strong. Okay, cool. You've got Chris Statlander. You've got Willow Nightingale. You've got
The next breed's favorite from this one.
well, I mean, I'm just talking about the bigger like muscle female wrestlers.
Gotcha.
There's one or more. Jamie Hayter is still in that more muscly,
Controversial. Yeah.
muscle mommy kind of look. Camille just does nothing. She doesn't have the personality to like rise up with against any of them. Her usefulness was being Mercedes Monet's heater, and then it's already trailed off. So no, she's finally hitting her stride now. I fully believe like
I will admit I'm about a month and a half behind.
no, she's in it now. She's got her footing in her matches because when she first came in at AEW, I was like, little rough. I don't know. I don't know about this.
Rough.
Yeah. Oh no, nothing's that rough. That's one grit sandpaper rough. Mercedes Moné is doing great. Like she has actually stepped into her position and owned it.
That's good.
And it's actually she's been doing better since she's been disconnected from having a Peter or anybody else around her. Just her being like the CEO and being,
So you mentioned your one who you'd get rid of.
Oh yeah,
Who's
so
the other?
Camille's got to go. She just does nothing. I don't, whatever. Men's division. Bye Wardlow. Sorry.
I have not heard about him since his feud with MJF.
In a division
20 power bombs or whatever it was.
In a division that has Brian Cage
Yeah.
and Powerhouse
Who's
Hobbs.
finally healed.
I got stuff in chat. I got to check this.
It says controversial.
Oh, good answers. Yeah, Wardlow needs to go. Like
Yeah.
Powerhouse Hobbs is doing everything that Wardlow should have been doing the entire time. But he's just got the extra layer of personality, and he's got that snarl
Yeah.
that he can like. And then Brian Cage is the other side of like, yeah, I'm just a big agile dude.
Brian Cage is a unit.
He is 2 units stacked on top of each other.
I remember when they brought him in and they got injured in
Yeah.
It was so bad. He performed like 2 matches.
Yeah.
He was out for like a year and a half.
I like Brian Cage a lot. I like Powers Hobbs a lot, and I don't have that like. Nothing about Wardlow has ever been like, yeah, I like that guy. That's cool.
See, I miss kind of like a little bit more of the slapstick kind of comedy that was there. Oh God, I can't remember the name of it. It was Scorpio Sky. I don't know why I'm blanking on this right now.
No.
It was when everything first started. Like, this city is terrible.
Oh, SCU.
Yes, SCU.
Yeah.
Yeah. SCU. That was so great. So fantastic. That shit was so funny. So funny to me. Oh my God. When they first brought in the guy that doesn't really do
Oh.
they brought him in from TNA.
Yeah.
Because they were on the circuit with him in Ring of Honor, and they eventually were able to bring him over when his contract expired with TNA.
Yeah. I know his name, and I'm just
This
absolutely
is the worst town I've ever been in.
Yeah.
This is the worst town I've ever been in.
Yeah. Jay Lethal.
Jay Lethal.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jay Lethal's dope.
Yeah. What do you think? What do you think about Bill J? Yeah.
I have never been a fan of Jeff Jarrett.
Ever.
No? Ever. Never been a fan of Jeff Jarrett.
I wasn't either, but
I didn't like it when
I like
he tried to take the reins as one of the 4 horsemen when Sting was on the outs. Like,
oh, I forget.
I'm
sorry. I opened up a can of words.
Fan.
I forgot you were a big TNA guy back in the day. Jeff Jarrett.
I'm a huge Sting fan.
Yeah.
Yes, I know a lot about TNA. I know a lot about a lot of things.
Yeah.
But Jeff Jarrett, Double J, doing his whole walk, thinking he's all great, talking the talk and walking the walk and burn, stealing people's wives and whatnot. Yeah, no, not a fan of Double J.
You know, I like him in AEW. I never liked him before, but I enjoy the. I think
He's one of the few people
I enjoy
that has caused MJF to shut up. I will say that.
I enjoy him as a talking head when they do the pre-show panels.
Okay.
I like him in that role.
Who would you take? Booker T or him?
Jarrett.
Really?
As far as a pre-show commentator kind of guy,
Okay, all right. Double J.
No, Big E. Give me Big E all day. Put him anywhere. Give him a mic and put him and do anything.
I was so upset.
Yeah, yeah. New Day sucks. New Day sucks. But you just give me Big E on screen. Just give Big E a microphone, put him on my screen.
It's like a 6'12", like basketball.
170.
Yeah, sure do.
Big E. Oh, he's like 5'9". He's just he's
I'm
3 foot wide.
First off, he said 6 foot.
She
12.
doesn't know what he looks like.
I don't.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm making.
I see a very tall person,
Yeah.
which is everyone in my
Can
eyes.
we yes and in here, please?
Everyone's taller than me.
Thank you. Thank you.
Can we yes and in here, please?
No.
No,
I
I'm gonna
think
be
I-
terrible at D&D tomorrow.
And that's that. Okay, I'm gonna bring this up real quick. We've already pushed past the tight hour I won again.
Let's wrap it up.
Okay, here's my final thought, at least for the night. Yes, anding is the best thing you can do in life. It's one of the best things you can learn. It's just, yep, and then we'll move on. Sure. Somebody like somebody's trying to get into like music, and they're trying to talk to you about bands, and the bands you don't like, but they think you like those bands because they look at you and they go, okay, well, he probably likes those bands. You're like, hey man, I just really got this this band called Bring Me the Horizon,
Okay.
and you're like, oh, that's cool. Yes, and you should also listen to Lorna Shore. Yes, and easiest way to move through life without being a dick. Which, again, me being the only adult on the internet, I'm the person here to give you this type of advice. You'd be doing a lot worse off without me. I'll tell you that much. You're welcome.
Thanks, Dad.
Anyway, this has been a very rough episode because audio issues, and I'm always going to complain about audio issues.
It'll eventually
That's-
get there.
It's getting there. I'm just very
Yes,
I'm very picky about audio issues. Yes, I'm picky about audio issues, and I appreciate the fact that we still got our show done. I appreciate my guests.
Thank you for having us.
Either of y'all have anything to add? You want to plug or
You might see me on Twitch from time to time streaming the Warframe.
yeah?
Send me money if you want.
Okay, yeah. If you want, I'll put the links in the show notes later. So,
Where to send me money? I'm not
Oh.
going to
there we go. All right.
Get some of these egg rolls.
Yeah. Yeah, we're going to get into some of these egg rolls. This has been the pregame. I've been Kurt Jangle. I will continue to be Kurt Jangle. And you will continue to be awesome. Thank you for tuning in. The only adult on the internet.com. Thank you. Love you. Bye.